To order our meeting. This is the joint meeting of the City Council, successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, Public Finance Authority, Public Utility Authority, Housing Authority, Paris Joint Powers Authority, and the Paris Community Economic Development Corporation of the City of Paris this Tuesday, September 14, 2021 at 6:36 p.m. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Councilmember Nava,
Present.
Councilmember Corona,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rabb,
Here.
Councilmember Rogers,
Here.
Mayor Vargas.
Here, thank you. And for those who are joining us on Zoom, if you'd like to make a public comment on the Zoom screen, please click on the participants button at the bottom of your screen. A list of participants will appear at the right side of the screen. At the bottom of this list, please click on the gray raised hand button. This will signal to the host that you would like to provide public comment, and you will be added to the list. If you are using Zoom on your smartphone, tap your screen and your screen will pop up with the list of participants. Look for the raised hand button on the screen. And for those of you joining us on a phone line, you just simply need to star 9 on your keypad. That will signal that you'd like to make a comment. If you want to withdraw your request, just hit star 9 again. That'll take us to item number 3 is our invocation, which will be led by
It's voting day.
IT. I'm only seeing 4 people on our screens. Is there a Pastor Briggs on our?
No, sir.
4 participants. That's not very good. Okay. We'll have our famous Councilwoman Rita Rogers lead us in prayer, and then we will then go into our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Councilwoman Nava.
Woman Rogers, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman Rogers and Nava. We will now move to item number 5, is a report on our closed session items. Mr. Dunn?
Thank you, Mayor. The council met in closed session to discuss the items noted on the agenda. 3 cases of potential litigation and another case of anticipated litigation. On all those items, the council was updated, but no reportable action was taken tonight.
Thank you. Item 6 is our presentations and announcements. 6A is the recognition of incoming and outgoing Youth Advisory Committee members. This item will be presented by our Director of Community Services, Ms. Sabrina Chavez.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. I would like to introduce our Paris Youth Advisory Committee liaisons, Rachel Pinedo and Juan Rodriguez, and they'll be introducing our incoming outgoing members.
Honorable Mayor, Council, and City staff, we would like to start off by thanking our 2020-2021 YEC members for all their hard work and continuous efforts during this past difficult year. YEC not only achieved their goals, but they persevered through unforeseen circumstances. Many of our recreation programs were affected and some even temporarily suspended, but I can proudly say YEC maintained and sustained their level of commitment. So at this moment, we would like to publicly thank them. Thank you, YEC.
Our outgoing members are Naomi Acosta, graduating from New View Bridge, and she will be attending University of California, Irvine, majoring in physics.
Marilyn Carrillo, she graduated from New View Bridge as well, and she'll be attending UCLA, and she's majoring in civic engineering.
Juan Salas graduated from New View Bridge. He will be attending Cal Poly Pomona, majoring in computer science.
Haley Reels graduated from New View Bridge, and she'll be attending University of Irvine, and she'll be majoring in physics.
And lastly, we have Joanna Zaragoza. She also graduated from New View Bridge, and she will be attending the University of California, Irvine, majoring in chemistry. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. But with that being said, please allow us the opportunity for the 2021-2022 YAC members to introduce themselves.
When you, boys and girls, when you come up to the podium, feel free to remove your mask when you're speaking, so it'll be a lot easier for us to hear you.
Hello, my name is Savannah Herrera, and I'm a senior at Paris High School this year, and I will be holding the chair of president.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Lomeli, and I go to Paris High School, and I'm a junior, and I am holding the chair of vice president.
Hi, my name is Brianna Marin. I attend California Military Institute, and I'm a junior, and I will be holding the chair of secretary.
Hi, my name is Michelle Ariola. I am in 11th grade. I go to Orange Vista High School, and I am going to be holding the chair of treasurer.
Hello, my name is Mireya Estrada. I am attending Paris High School as a freshman, and I am holding the chair of historian.
Hello, my name is Melanie Lopez. I'm an 8th grader at Innovative Horizons Charter School, and I will be holding the chair as historian.
Hello, my name is Julie Salas. I'm a 10th grader at New View Bridge Early College High School, and I'll be a representative.
Hi, I'm Derek Leon. I am a junior, and I attend Moreno Valley College under the Middle College program at Orange Vista High School, and I am a representative.
Hi, my name is Noah Estrada. I am a junior at Paris High School, and I will hold the chair of representative.
Hi, I'm Victoria Vallon, and I'm a sophomore at Orange Vista High School, and I'm a representative.
Hi, I'm Alexa Flores. I'm a junior at Rancho, and I'm a representative.
Thank you, guys. Moving forward, our President Savannah Herrera or Vice President Jasmine O'Malley will provide the YAC communications during future council meetings.
And that concludes our staff presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, we would like to ask if you guys can step off the dais and take a picture with our new YAC, if you guys
Absolutely.
are comfortable with doing that. Thank you.
This way you're not blocking anybody. Are we all set? Okay, everybody look straight ahead first. Look right here first. Big smile. Okay, now look to your right. Look to your right, to the right cameras. Now look to your left. Okay, we got some late bloomers, so look back to the middle. You're welcome. Can everybody do an about face and look to the rear? Nobody follow the mayor's direction. Unbelievable. Okay, good job, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I let my dog get hold of it.
Hold on, guys, don't quite leave yet in case the council wants to make any comments about you. I know I want to make some comments. So I'll open the floor. If anybody wants to speak, please hit the queue. Councilman Rab, or excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem Rab.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just want to congratulate the new appointees to the Act Commission. I look forward to working with you with many of the events coming, in-person events resuming this fall. It'll be a great experience. I'm glad to see so many local students, particularly from Paris High School, as a Paris High School alumni. Look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nava.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank our former YAC group, and you've done a tremendous job. And then a great welcoming congratulations to our new YAC members. You have great shoes to fill, and I know you will continue doing so. And amongst your former YAC members who managed to do all things, being involved in city, and yet still be admitted to some wonderful colleges. So definitely keep in touch with us, to the former YAC members, and I look forward to meeting with you all, connecting with you all. I know this pandemic doesn't always make it the easiest, but we'll get there. And if you ever need anything from me, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Councilwoman Rogers.
I'd like to congratulate the outgoing members and wish them much success on their college journey. I know they'll make us proud and come back, and then we can hear about all their tremendous successes. To all of the incoming members, I look forward to having great things come from you. Our former YAC members have done tremendous things, and I know you're going to even exceed that. They've set a high benchmark that you can follow. So we look forward to seeing great things from you, and welcome aboard. Thank you.
Councilman Corona.
I too want to give a big congratulations to the outgoing board. It was a challenging year dealing with not being able to do things in person. But 3 of the 5 of them are going to be going to the greatest university on earth, to UC Irvine. But I do want to wish them well. Now to the incoming boards, by hearing from you from the YAC advisors, I'm hearing great things. We're gonna take it to another level. Now that things are opening up. So big congratulations to all of you. If you guys need any help, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Same here. Congratulations to our outgoing. Just when we learned names, now we got to start all over again and learn a whole group of other names. Where's Melanie? Raise your hand, Melanie. And where's Melanie's fan club? Geez, she had a pretty good fan club here. Just one person made all that noise? Wow, okay. So I also want to thank the family members for here with your child. Supporting them means a great deal, and I like to see when we have parents get involved in the activities with our students. Did I see someone from Citrus Hill, right? We had a couple from Citrus? No?
Orange Vista.
Orange Vista. So no Citrus Hill High School this year? How about,
Rancho and Orange Vista.
Got Rancho, got Orange. Not Valverde High School? Okay. Still good diversity, good group of kids, and all the way out to New View Bridges, which is awesome too. So congratulate all of you students, and I wish you much success to our outgoing board. And as our Mayor Pro Tem indicated, we all look forward to working with you this coming year, and hopefully we can do a little more than just Zooming. I know it's been a challenging year, so. Thank you again, parents. I don't want to hold you back up for coming up, and thank you, students, for being here as well. Okay, now you guys can go. Okay, moving on to item 7 item 7, there is not going to be no Youth Advisory Committee yet. They'll be preparing for our next meeting. So item 8 is our public comments. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Anybody at this time wishing to speak on any item that's not on the agenda? IT, do we have anybody online?
No, sir.
Okay, item 9 is our approval of minutes. 9A is the consideration to approve the minutes of the special meeting held on August 26, 2021, and the regular meeting held on August 31st, 2021 of the City Council, and all the entities listed on our agenda. If no one has any questions or comments, I will entertain a motion to approve. And I have a motion by Councilwoman Rogers, second by Councilman Corona. Please call a roll call vote.
Councilmember Nava?
Yes.
Councilmember Corona?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rabb?
Yes.
Councilmember Rogers?
Yes.
Mayor Vargas?
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Item 10 is our consent calendar. Consent calendar items are normally enacted in one motion. The mayor or city council may remove a consent calendar item for separate action. We will have public comment, which will be limited to 3 minutes. Any council member have any requests to pull an item on the consent calendar?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
Item 10A for a separate vote.
10A for a separate vote. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, we will entertain a motion for everything but A. A motion by Mayor Pro Tem Rabb, second by Councilman Corona. Please call a roll call vote.
Yes.
Councilmember Corona?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rabb?
Yes.
Councilmember Rogers?
Yes.
Mayor Vargas?
Yes.
5-0, motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, item A, Councilwoman Rogers, you just wanted to have a separate vote?
Just a separate vote to be consistent, yes.
Very good. If I can get a motion to approve item 10A. A motion by Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Rabb and Councilman Corona. Please call a roll call vote.
Councilmember Nava?
No.
Councilmember Corona?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rabb?
Yes.
Councilmember Rogers?
No.
Mayor Vargas?
Yes.
Vargas, Corona, Rabb, yes. Rogers, Nava, no.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 11, which is our public hearings. 11A is a consideration to adopt the first reading of proposed ordinance number next in order, approving ordinance amendment 21-05110 to comprehensively update chapter 19.81 of the zoning code to regulate secondary dwelling units in compliance with the state law and in support of the regional housing needs assessment of the city. This is going to be introduced by our interim director of development services, Ms. Candida Neal. Wow, you're literally going to give this one.
Well,
All right.
good evening, Mayor and honorable members of the City Council. The ordinance before you tonight is an ADU ordinance. It's in response to update the current Chapter 19.81, which addresses second dwelling units, to be consistent with the state's new law on accessory dwelling units. Next. Kenneth is going to help me. Oh, down. No? There. Okay. On January 21 was when this new ordinance went into effect, and these changes have actually modified how we are permitting ADUs right now. We have been in compliance with the state law, but the state law allows us to adopt an ordinance which tailors it to our individual needs. The state government requirements, the reason the state really is looking at this as a way of addressing the housing crisis in California right now. And they see ADUs as a way of quickly constructing additional units that would be affordable to certain populations. And to do this, they're requiring that the process that we review it be ministerial. So that means it doesn't go before the Planning Commission or the City Council. It's approved by staff along with the building permit process. The law has established a variety of ADUs, and it sets up requirements by the type of ADU that there are. And sometimes you'll hear that it supersedes local zoning requirements, but that's not necessarily true. The city can still enforce requirements for setbacks, open space, minimum lot size, lot coverage, as long as the actual building does the provision of that. So as long as establishing the setback doesn't prevent you from constructing an ADU that would allow an 800 square feet, 16 feet in height, and have 4-foot setbacks. So it does, we can enforce it as long as enforcing it prohibits them from building an ADU. The first type of ADUs that we look at are single-family ADUs, and there's 4 types of them. The first one is a junior ADU. It's a new type of ADU that is required by the state. It's located within an existing structure, and it doesn't necessarily have to have its own bathroom facilities. A converted ADU is when you convert a portion of your home, whereas a detached ADU would be one that would be constructed in the middle of the yard or separate from the house. So, for example, a detached garage, if you were going to convert it, would then be considered a detached ADU. An attached single-family ADU is, like it suggests, attached. It shares a wall with the existing structure. The types of ADU that we're first going to look, these single-family ADUs, units allowed per lot. And this can scare people a bit, but we have to think about it. A JADU is allowed with other ADUs as well. So you can have a JADU when you have an attached ADU or when you have a detached ADU. So that means if you have a JADU and a primary dwelling as well as an attached or detached ADU, you could have 3 units on one single family lot. On a converted unit, you would not be able to do that. The state prohibits you from doing that because you're already converting a part of your home when you're creating the JADU. Maximum size for the JADU is 500 square feet, and there's a general provision for that studio and 1-bedroom units should be 850 square feet, and units with more than one unit would then be allowed to have 1,000 square feet that would be the maximum size of the unit, and that's for attached and detached units. That's a recommended. Is what was recommended by our Planning Commission. However, the state does allow cities to adopt for the detached ADUs a larger unit of 1,200 square feet. On converted ADU, there is no limit, but it has to be within the existing footprint of the house. So you can't build any additional area. Minimum minimum unit size itself is 320 square feet, and that was developed based on the idea that in the building code you would have to have 220 square feet for a housing unit and one for one occupant, so that would be 300 square feet. So it aligns with the California Building Code, which is why we recommended that, and the Planning Commission is recommending it to you as well. Within the junior ADU and converted units have to be within the existing building element. There is a catch on additional floor area, though. For those 2 units, you can add on an additional 100 square feet, which would accommodate only entrances. So if you needed a staircase or some other way to get into the ADU, that would be fine. JADUs and converted ADUs are not required to provide parking, although attached and detached each would be required to provide 1 parking space. And bathrooms are not required for JADUs. So multifamily ADUs, that's a different thing. We have not done that before, allowed them in multifamily projects, but we are allowing converted and detached multifamily units, ADU units. There, in terms of the number of units that you can have for a converted multifamily, you can do up to 25% of the total lots, or 1 per unit. So that means that if you have a duplex or a triplex, you could add an ADU to your project, even though it's not 25%. For detached units, you're limited to 2. And a detached unit would be one that would be built in parking area or on some other area that doesn't currently have a building in the multifamily complex. Maximum unit sizes are the same as we talked about before for 1 bedrooms, and then for studios and 1 bedrooms, and then for units with more than 1 bedroom. As well as the unit size is the 320 square feet. And again, within the building unit, of course, the converted unit has to stay within that building structure that you have, and they don't have the additional square feet. Footage is not applicable that we had for the converted single-family ADU. Now, all ADUs. Some things are the same for all ADUs. Zoning and multifamily zoning. A site has to be zoned for multifamily or single-family use, and for a single family it has to be either an existing or proposed, and for a multifamily there has to be a project on the site at the time that they're applying for the ADUs. Minimum lot size and lot coverage, again, are established by our local zoning, but you have to enable them to waive the requirements if you can't get that ADU that's defined by the state, that 800 square foot ADU. Building height shall not exceed 16 feet, or the Planning Commission is recommending that's the state minimum, but the Planning Commission is recommending that it be a little higher if the ridge line of the first floor, the height of the ridge line of the first floor. So it can be up to whichever one is greater, and that's to allow the design of the ADU to be incorporated into and compatible with the existing home. Exterior entrances, kitchens, the design of the are required. The design of the ADU, again, it must be compatible with the primary dwelling. And garage doors, staff had recommended initially that garage doors be removed if you were converting a garage, but the Planning Commission changed the recommendation, and their recommendation is that when garages are converted to ADUs, the garage door remain in place, and then behind it you construct a wall that's parallel to it that meets the building standards. And the reason for that is because in many of the newer neighborhoods, the garage door faces the front yard, faces the street, and that's sort of the pattern of the street. You see the garage doors and they move along. Yeah, so that's the reason that we do it. And then we are also requiring fire sprinklers when the primary dwelling unit has fire sprinklers. In terms of parking, the parking requirements are different for ADUs, and we talked about them earlier, but the design standards are different as well. They're relaxed in that in a normal home or single-family house or apartments, we would not allow tandem parking. That's one car behind the other. And we also wouldn't allow parking to be in some of our setbacks. But the ADU parking can be located in those areas. In addition, there's a provision that when a garage or a carport is demolished or converted as part of an ADU, replacement parking is not required. And if a primary residence doesn't have enough parking, say they don't have two spaces in a garage, they maybe have they have an old house and they have a one-car garage, they would not be required to add that second garage space like we would normally require when a new project comes in. We require them to meet the zoning code as it stands today, but we would not require that for parking in those instances.
And that's our decision, or is that coming from the state?
That's coming from the state. Yeah, all of these are coming from the state.
Oh, that's amazing. Maybe someone from the state can come here and live in Paris and tell me that would apply with our problems with parking and street sweeping and what have you.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, go on. I'm sorry. At event.
But this is not. These are state mandated requirements.
Got it.
All of these. I need to emphasize that. In addition, parking is waived in many instances, and the one that will most impact Paris is that when a property is located within a half mile of a fixed public transit route, and initially we thought that it had to have 15-minute headwaits during peak hours, but we've received information from the state that it does not apply in this instant, and so all of our bus routes would be eligible for this parking area. So any property that is within a half of any of our bus routes, then the parking requirement could be waived. In addition, there's the exemptions that we also talked about before. We have required certain operational standards, and most of these are required by us, but one of them is no separate conveyance, which is you don't have a legal right to convey, sell, or transfer the property separate from the main piece of parcel. The primary dwelling, you can't sell off the ADU, and that's required by state, of course. And the second one is short-term lodging. This was one that was recommended by the Planning Commission, and they required that an ADU or JADU that was permitted by this chapter could not be rented for periods of longer than or less than 30 days or less. And then we also required recording a covenant attached to it. And the covenant is purely informational. There is a requirement that any JADU would have to have a covenant stating that there is a JADU in the house. But in addition to that, we're proposing that as an informational purposes for future buyers, that a covenant be attached to any property with an ADU that says a few things. It notifies them that there's you can't convey this property separately, so that they know that going in, even if they didn't know it already. That describes the type of ADU it is. So if it's a converted ADU, it also says the number of square feet that were approved, and this will be helpful for us in terms of code enforcement and ultimately, and also the number of units. If there's a JADU and an ADU, there's a maximum of 3 units on the site. It also would notify people of the restriction on short-term rentals, if that is included in a part of this ordinance, and it would notify the future property owners that if you have a JADU, one person for now has to live on the property. So the owner has to live in either the JADU or the primary dwelling unit, or if they have an attached, they could live in any one of the units, but they have to live on the site. There are a few issues that we'd like to discuss with you tonight. One is that building height recommendation, as well as the garage doors and the idea of the detached accessory dwelling units, that maximum size of 1,000 square feet, and short-term rentals. We did survey other cities regarding the short-term rentals, and so we have some additional information on that as well as the building height for detached
So
units.
let me clarify then, because we're saying two things. First, it's state mandated, and now we're talking about we want to allow this. So are these 1, 2, 4 bullets not addressed or covered by the state? This is up to us to do if we want?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you clearly.
I'm confused of your statements because you said everything is driven by the state.
All the parking things are driven by the state.
Okay, so not these 4 items.
These 4 items are not, you have the ability to make a decision on them. You could have the detached go up to 1,200 square feet. The short-term rental prohibition is something that other communities have done, and the garage is also something that the Planning Commission was interested in doing, and the building height. So those are.
Okay, so do you want to take one item at a time and you want a consensus from us? What do you want to do?
If there are questions on it or discussion on it, I'd be
Let me go back to
happy
my
to
other
answer any
page.
questions.
I know you guys like to stay on that screen, so you
Yeah, I
want
do. It's just kind of.
just holler out on this one. We got to work on that. That's not helping us. All right, Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Yes, regarding the garage door, I know they kind of wanted the housing to be uniform, and that it kind of envisioned tract homes. Is there any way maybe we could exclude homes that weren't part of a tract? For instance, some of the homes in the downtown area, some of the homes that aren't. I can understand the homes that were built, like say they were built in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They were all part of a tract. I can understand that, but you have a lot of homes here in the downtown area that were one owner built the house in 1940 and another person built it in 2005. So it's different.
So it
if you
should
were
apply to
convert-
tract homes, I think
tract
would be the
homes.
right
Yeah.
thing to say.
And then I know the parking's for everything, right? In terms of getting rid of, allowing the removing of the parking space and not filling up a new one, that's mandated by the state. Is that correct, Ms. O'Neill?
Yes, the parking is
Okay.
mandated by the state, yes.
Yeah, see, that would be one that I'd make an exception to in terms of if there was alley access, not requiring a new parking spot, because it's going to be a lot of issues in all those homes over by the high school where the driveways are 6, 7 feet away from each other, but the state mandated that. And in terms of the 1,000 square feet, that's a maximum for 2 bedrooms, or is it a minimum for 2 bedrooms?
That is the 1,000 square feet is that's the maximum for one or more than 1 bedroom. So you could have 2 bedrooms, you could have 3 bedrooms.
And you can go up to 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that's the proposed.
Okay, my only add-in would be the garage. If it's part of a existing tract, we keep the garage, we mandate the garage stay in terms of maintaining a uniform appearance. But the staff would have a case-by-case basis in terms of houses in
But that's what it is now.
the downtown area, or houses that were built separately, the houses on Sunny Sands. But they could still deny it. Say, for instance, if there were like 4 houses built together with garages.
What they're doing right now.
Yeah.
When they
So discretion.
Discretion,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so you would like discretion, so.
For the garages.
For the garages.
We're talking about basically the downtown area, because there are, some don't
So-
even have a garage, some just have a carport.
Or they're.
But there are some areas where they're demolishing older homes and building 3, 4 tract homes, not tract homes, but 3 or 4 homes that look alike.
Yeah.
Then they would have to comply to that rule when it comes to that.
Right, so you can say the garage doors may be removed or remain. We cannot address garage doors at all. The issue would be if you were going to remove it, you would want to require them to have it look like the rest of the house.
Well, sure,
I think that would be
And
something.
so we could just rewrite that requirement, that it should be, if it's going to be removed, it should look like the rest of the house. If it's not going to be removed, if the garage is going to be remained, we have to have a wall that meets the California Building Code.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we do both ways. Okay.
Thank you.
I think, Kenneth, you also get the concept over time. As long as you can come back to us and show us how it works, then we'll probably be happy with that. But it's just being able to differentiate between the old areas and the newer areas.
Okay.
Yeah, just to give an example, you can go to the downtown area, you'll see some houses where you can tell there was a garage. They basically did a shoddy job of sealing it up, so you can see the outline of where the garage was, and they built the house in like the 60s, just to conform with the rest of the house. And I think staff has kind of an idea what we're all coming at in terms of that, but thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Councilman Corona?
Yes. So to confirm, because I kind of follow some people on the internet regarding different cities where they put their building height, they measure it at the eaves, and then some people they measure at the highest point of the roof. So the 16 feet, would that be at the highest point of the roof?
That's the highest point of the roof.
So you can't go beyond that.
Right, and yes, and it would preclude you from doing a 2-story. It does preclude you from doing a 2-story unit without having to go into steel. So, and that makes it really expensive. Now, the city council could, because again, all of these state things, you can make it less restrictive. So you could make it 20 feet tall if you wanted to make it. You could establish that as the height as opposed to 16. The Planning Commission felt like the ridgeline was a good opportunity to do that. In addition, we have a minor alteration process that you can do that would allow you to do a 25% addition. So on a 16-foot high building, that would be 4 feet. So you could go up to 20 without, as an administrative property. So it wouldn't be necessarily that prohibitive.
Okay. No.
But you have the option of raising it as well.
Okay. And then with the issue on the maximum size, we actually had an ordinance or some kind of a procedure for having an accessory dwelling unit before this came up, and because I went to planning because I was just kind of curious about it. So at that time they told me it was 1,200 square feet or 75% of the home, but we're actually reducing it down. And I'm not 95% of the houses in Paris. You can't do that, right? I get that. But we do have some large properties here and there, Sunny Sands area, and people, a couple houses, a few houses in my neighborhood, or a few houses up north in Paris, that do have the space for it. Why did we decide to reduce it? Because I'm thinking in the future, the purpose of this is to potentially have maybe a large family that can move in. If my son was a little older and he got married and had a son, and instead of living in an apartment, hey, you can stay in this house, but I don't want to have him in an 800 square foot house. I might want to consider putting him in a 1,200 square foot.
Well, in a 1,200 square foot, that's another thing that you have right now. The state sets the limit at 1,000 square feet, just kind of straight across the board.
At maximum or minimum?
At a maximum,
maximum.
But they have a section in the government code section that you can go up for detached ADUs. You can go up to 1,200 square feet. So we could, the Planning Commission has recommended 1,000, but you as a city council could recommend could adopt an ordinance that said 1,200 square feet for detached ADUs.
So what the ordinance was before was 1,200, and then planning decided to reduce it.
Well, they
went
with the standard
they follow the state guidelines,
requirement.
but we originally had 1,200. And I believe there are some houses in Paris that already have a 1,200.
There may well be, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. So that's something that we could decide to amend?
That's something that you can decide for yourself, yes.
Okay. And then the issue with short-term rentals. I know we had a meeting a few years ago where we were, saying, hey, this is great for people to make extra income, stuff like that. And right now, Paris doesn't have many hotels. And so people that are, baseball families that are going to Big League Dreams, they don't really have anywhere to stay around here. So I think we should at least look into that. I'm not pressed hard on that either way, but I think that's something to look into, to say, hey, if you build a ADU, you should at least have that option to make income off of it, whether it's short term or long term.
And that's your prerogative. We did do a survey of other cities around us, and we talked to 7 cities, and only one of them allowed it. The rest of them prohibited it.
Okay, and which city was this?
That was Wildemar.
Wildemar allowed it?
Yeah, Wildemar. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question to follow up with that.
Okay, go on.
Just a quick one. So if it was to be for, as Councilmember Corona mentioned, for Airbnb or something of the like, does that disqualify it from meeting the RENA numbers? Is that why they want the 30-day?
Well, the cities, and I'm not sure what your question is. I'm having a hard time hearing with the math, and I'm sorry. But the cities are adopting it basically because they want to have them credited towards their RENA numbers. So they want to have these accessory dwelling units to be able to be counted as affordable units in the RENA numbers. And the accessory dwelling units can be counted as affordable, or especially for at least low, mod and low. And in some cases, very low, depending on what the rents are. So that may be why they decided to do that.
That does answer your question too, didn't it?
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you done, Councilman Corona?
No, just some comments. While looking at this chart, it looks like the majority of these cities have a 1,200 square foot minimum. I know our city did used to have it. I think we should at least carry that over.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to go back and forth. Let's talk about it now. Let's take that item. I mean, I agree with you. My first home that I bought was 1,100 and something square feet, and if it wasn't for their addition, I ended up having 1,400 feet. So that seems to be a good size for a small dwelling.
Small family, yeah.
So I support what you're asking, to leave it at 1,200, what it was before. Anybody else? That's 3 nods already.
Yeah. He said 1,200, what was it, 1,200 or 75% of the coverage?
It was 1,200 or 75% maximum. Now, 75% of a larger home would be over 1,200.
But it's one or the other. It's 1,200 or
Okay,
75.
So we could say 75% of the square footage? and just disregard the
Well, then
1,200
then you're going over 1,200.
for several homes. Yeah.
The state says that the state
Yeah. 1,200 is-
ordinance is pretty clear. It says for detached use, the maximum a city can by ordinance allow you to go to 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with 12.
And so
All right.
that's what the
12.
that's what the state law says.
You good? Everybody's good with 12 over here?
Yeah.
I'm good with, I would just make one comment. I know some of the homes in downtown, they may be 800 square foot, and I know it's attached in the back that's 1,200. Just taking into, I want staff to take into consideration the aesthetics of a potentially much larger building in the back versus the building in the front.
Yes.
Go right down here, and you see homes that are 700, 800, 900 square feet, very small homes. That's what he built Behemoth, 1,200 foot.
But so that-
Not Behemoth, but it could be.
Right, but wouldn't that's where the 1,200 or 75% would have come in handy, so. So I.
So keep the
1,200
75%
or
in there.
75%.
Okay.
Okay? Got it?
Okay, and then I did have another question too. The 4-foot setback, is that from the state? Like we can't increase that? Because I thought right now it's 5 feet.
It is 5 feet, but the state says that we can enforce our 5-foot side yard setbacks or our 10-foot or 20-foot rear yard setbacks, as long as you can build an ADU in that space. And the ADU has to be 800 square feet and at least 16 feet tall. So if you can build that in that space, then we can enforce our setbacks.
Gotcha,
If you
okay.
can't, then it goes down to 4 feet. Then the property owner can build something with 4-foot setbacks.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So like a smaller lot, they could build.
Yeah, so on a
They could
smaller
build
lot,
there.
you could still build an ADU. That's the intent of the state's laws, is to say that, well, you know, some places there are smaller lots, and we've got to be able to let them be able to do this too.
So that's a state requirement.
That
or
is a state
We can't play with that.
requirement. Yeah.
Okay.
But we can say no, we want 5 feet still, or no?
No, we can't,
Okay.
on the, on
So
that.
there's no discussion
yeah,
there.
on
Yeah,
the
there's no discussion
lot
there.
coverage.
All right, we got
and-
it. No
yeah, all
discussion
that
there.
stuff, no.
So I do have a question
Setbacks.
though. But the minimum, can you refresh me on what was the minimum for ADU?
The minimum setbacks for the ADU are whatever the underlying setback is.
No, I'm not talking about the setback. Just like the minimum square footage.
Oh, the minimum square footage.
800.
No, minimum.
The
800.
minimum square footage is 320
300.
square feet.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's with the efficiency kitchen, that one.
Yeah, it's like a tiny
A little
house.
studio.
Yeah,
It's a little studio, yeah.
grandma pad.
Yeah, but I mean, most people have lived in that one time or in their
Yeah.
life or another, you know?
Okay, did you have anything else?
I think I'm good right now. Have we just decided on the short term thing?
Okay, the short term, yes. I personally didn't mind having short-term rentals.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a couple of years ago, we were all for it. Now,
Right.
whether it affects the arena numbers, that's
But it does
kinda one
affect
thing.
arena numbers as brought up by Councilwoman Nava.
Defeats the purpose.
That's what I know in the Bay Area, there's an issue with a lot of short-term rentals are taking the spot of affordable housing. Now, I'm all for somebody making extra money renting out their property, but if the goal is to create more housing to make it more affordable for parish residents,
Yeah.
maybe there could be a percentage or I'm just, at this point, I'd be against it just for the fact that we're trying to do this.
Well, I
to
think
open up-
it's better to say it's a yes or no, not
I would
a
say at this
percentage.
time, no for now.
Yeah, I agree, because Councilwoman brought up a very good point. We don't want to take away our numbers, so
Yeah.
I don't support it.
And I think we've got, 7,000 some houses
To go.
arena numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so scratch that one.
Yeah, and no, I did think about something that you know, are we going to allow every single house on the block to have that, or do we put a limit on that?
No, every single house on the block gets to have one,
Wow.
and they might have two.
Depending on the lot
two,
size.
depending on, wow. So the two, so if you could go back and explain that real quick. The two depended on, you could have one detached, you could have one inside, you could have.
Okay, all right, so there's the different types of ADUs.
Right.
So there's, with an attached ADU, you can have a primary dwelling, an attached ADU, and a junior ADU.
Gotcha,
that little
inside,
one.
okay.
And for a detached ADU, you can have a detached ADU and the junior one as in the primary dwelling. But for a converted, when you're going to convert the inside of your house, you can't do a double conversion. So if you're going to do a converted ADU, that's it. You don't get a ADU.
So some people have two garages. You could only convert one garage. You can't convert the other.
You could, if one of them was going to be less than 500 square feet and the other one was, yeah, that would be tricky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This whole conversation is tricky.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not testing this at the end of the night. Okay, are you done, Councilman Corona?
I'm done for now, yeah.
All right, who's next? Who wants to talk?
Can we go back to that sheet that
Which
we're
one?
deciding the stuff, the discussion?
Can you go back to the last one with the 4 bullets?
So, did we decide on the building height?
So, yeah, well, I want to bring up just one code, and then let's go back. Let me just go back to page 9 real quick, please. I just wanted some clarification. 9, yeah, page 9 in the PowerPoint.
Page 9 of
Where you
the
talk
PowerPoint.
about the fire sprinkler.
Where I talk about the fire sprinkler.
right here.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So when the original or the primary house has a fire sprinkler system, anything gets added on within that must have sprinklers.
No, it could be a detached unit as well, but they have to meet the same standard as
So
the.
if you do a detached ADU and the primary house has sprinkler system, that means the ADU has to have sprinklers?
That's true.
Okay, just want to clarify that. All right, let's go back to the 4, I don't want to get us all thrown off here. Go back to the 4 bullets, and let's go one at a time here. I know we answered some questions, but let's start with the first one, the building height. Council, anybody have any comments on the building height? We're good?
Yeah.
Councilman Corona? I hate to interrupt you
Sorry,
guys.
yeah, the building height, 16 feet height, yeah.
Okay. All right, garage doors, I think you got that one down. The third bullet, detached accessory dwelling units, maximum size, we squared that one away, 1,200 square feet or 800, or 75%. And then the short term, we did all this already, very good. Short term, we said no. All right, anything else you need from us? No
No.
testing now.
No, thank you.
Okay.
We will bring
Thank you
back.
for losing me. You lost me a long time ago on this, but this, IT, please make sure to send us the slide presentation. It's a lot of good information, but I'm glad I don't sit on your side of the table.
Mayor,
Okay.
if I may, for
Yes.
clarification, we can bring back a second reading with these amendments. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, at this point, I'm going to open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
No, sir.
IT?
No, sir.
Anybody in the audience wishing to speak at this time? Very good. I'm going to close the public hearing, and I'll call for a motion on the first reading of the ordinance. And I have Councilwoman Rogers making a motion, second by Councilwoman Nava. Please call a roll call vote.
Councilmember Nava?
Yes.
Councilmember Corona?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Rab?
Yes.
Councilmember Rogers?
Yes.
Mayor Vargas?
Yes,
5-0, motion approved.
thank you. Okay, it takes us to item 12, business items. We have none. Item 13 is our council communications. And we normally start with Councilman Corona.
Thank you, Mayor. I did attend the food truck event that they had. So if you're looking for good food that's well prepared, safely prepared within our cities, please come out to downtown Paris on Friday and Saturday. And besides that, I think that's it. Just wish that everybody who could vote voted, and I'm just looking forward to accept whatever results they are and to move forward and move California forward. Thank you.
Great. I think, can you, someone clarify, did they not expand that to Thursday through Sunday now? Or that hasn't started?
It hasn't started, I have the new times.
You'll give it up at your comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Nava.
Thank you, Mayor. I have requested from city staff that we offer Edison the opportunity to come out to a future council meeting and provide an update about the billing issues that are taking place for our Paris residents. So just know that city staff is aware of it, and we will be sure to relay and, forward any messages as soon as they unfold regarding what's going on with the billing issues. Other than that, I have no other comments to share for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and take care.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rogers?
Yes, I'd just like to announce that both the mayor and I sit on March Joint Powers, and last week we did select a new executive director, and it's Dr. Grace Martin, who's formerly Dr. Grace Williams that worked here for the city of Paris.
Thank you.
And then I also want to say that yesterday at our WRCOG meeting, Aaron Sassi gave us an update on several bills. And I know several of you are concerned because the Zoom meetings are scheduled to stop the end of September, but they did do an urgency bill that was passed out of legislation and is waiting for the governor's signature to be able to continue the Zoom meetings. So
Did they indicate to how long? Did they indicate how long, much longer?
No. Yeah, as long as there's a state of
Okay,
emergency.
got it.
So hopefully we'll get that signed. He actually has until October 10th to sign that,
Okay.
so, yeah.
That's it?
And you've got 20 minutes left to get in line to vote. And if you're in line by 8 o'clock, you can stand there because they will let you vote. So if you haven't made that trip yet, get down to a polling place and vote. Thank you.
Great. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, just want to echo Councilwoman Rogers' notice about getting out and voting. We have 24 minutes. You can actually vote here at Bob Glass Gym. And I did it earlier today. It was quick, efficient. Want to thank everyone who worked on the polling place, and you can get in and vote. Just want to, that's my last comment for today, but just want to see if we can close the meeting in honor of Johnny James Jr., who passed away late August. He was a Paris High School graduate in 1964, and he broke many records as a track star at Paris High School, including the 100-yard dash and the 200-yard sprint. Both of the records that he broke way back in 1964 still remain at Paris High. He was a lifetime Paris area resident. He just lived just out of the Paris area in the area of Good Hope with his wife, Jeannie James, whom he was married to for nearly 55 years. And he was a carpenter, and he did many projects at the First Baptist Church. So we can just close the meeting in honor of Johnny James Jr.
Already noted. Thank you. Okay, 911 Remembrance Ceremony. The American Legion, VFW, and some other supporters always put on a great presentation in honoring the 911 tragedy. This was 20 years this year, marked 20 years that incident occurred, so they did a very nice event. SoCal Railway Museum, I know we used to get Mr. Lamb in here, and I've been getting flyers and having IT put it out. So I'll take Mr. Lamb's position. September 18th, I think, is their next event. And that's their 5th annual Pirate Festival. It's a charity event supporting our veterans and active military. Free train rides and trolley rides. That's September 18th at the SoCal Railway Museum. If you want more information, just go online as well, SoCal Railway Museum. And then they have, that was the 11th. September 25th will be the next one, which is the Paris Appreciation Day. That's when all residents of Paris, I think all you have to do is show that you live, work, or go to school in the city of Paris. You'll have a free day at the museum. That's September 25th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I'll remind these as we go further, closer to it if we have meetings. And then the big one for them is the Day Out with Thomas the Train. And this year it's November 6th and 7th, November 11th, 13th, and 14th. So that's a biggie. If you go to SoCalRailway.org, you'll be able to see all their events and purchase tickets ahead of time. And then just today, I attended another ribbon cutting ceremony for one of our local businesses that is also has joined the Chamber of Commerce. So I'd like to welcome another business partner in the city of Paris. It's a farmer insurance agency ran by Charisma and Chris Padilla. They're up on the north end off of Walnut Street and Paris Boulevard. So welcome to our community, and we hope that your business does well. Your success, of course, is the success for the city of Paris as well. With that, I will move on to item 14, which is our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. We've received a new updated testing date and time schedule for COVID-19 testing location here at the council chambers. The new hours and dates it will now include weekends beginning this Thursday. So testing will be available Thursday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and walk-ins are also available. The Community Services Department will be hosting the End of Summer Splash, which is scheduled Friday, September 24th at the Mercado Park. And the feature movie is The Croods: A New Age and will begin at approximately 7 p.m. In regards to the food truck event, hours have been updated and will now be occurring Thursday through Sunday, beginning at 3 p.m. From here on out till the end October and possibly even further.
3 p.m.
Thank
to
you.
what time?
3 p.m. till nighttime, pretty much till the crowds die out, but we'll within the hours under our ordinance.
Got it.
And that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Very good. Okay. That takes us to our adjournment, and as a request from Mayor Pro Tem, we will be adjourning our meeting this evening on behalf of Johnny James Jr., a longtime resident who recently passed away. Condolences to his family. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Be safe. Go vote. Get tested, vaccinated, whatever you got to do. But most importantly, be safe for everybody.